Hello from my heart, everybody.
Blog Talk Radio.
Reinvent yourself. It's time. Reinvent yourself and fly with your head up high and the answers to guide you. Reinvent yourself, you'll be turning it all around.
Hello from my heart, everybody. Welcome to another great edition of Transitions to Transformation Radio. This is your host, Reverend Sue, and you just heard Chris Chickering, and he had just that little snippet of Reinvent Yourself from his CD Shine, and it's very, very inspirational, as is our guest tonight. And tonight we have a very special guest. His name is Ricky Roberts III, and he had survived a very brutal attack at just the age of 17. He was stabbed 9 times. Can you believe it? 9 times while he was out with his young friends. But thanks to an epiphany he had while recovering, Ricky had not only survived, he has since thrived from the reflections he's had from a dysfunctional family life in his early childhood into his teen years, as well as the attack. And you can say he had a miraculous change in perception, and his life's mission is sharing these reflections and inspiring all of us, reminding us of all how valuable we all are, no matter what circumstances we come from. And you know, after all, it's not where we came from, but where we are going to. And Ricky's reflections have been expressed in his books, You, What Really Matters, Where Did the Gifts Go?, and his brand new book, Awakening the New You, The Path to Transformation. And Ricky is also what I call the people's advocate, as he has founded an organization named You Are Valued. Now, You Are Valued was created to remind us all that no matter what circumstances we come from, we all are valued, and to keep our dreams in sight. Ricky coined the phrase, a dream is only a dream if it is not pursued. And how true is that? And Ricky and his beautiful wife, Amy, go to many schools and other organizations to let everyone know how valued they are. Positive change begins with each and every one of us. Like Mahatma Gandhi says, we must be the change we seek in the world. Ricky Roberts III is an amazing example of how we can all turn things around for the better and help others too. Ricky coined the phrase, a dream is just a dream if it is not pursued. And ladies and gentlemen, I proudly present a survivor, visionary, mentor, and healer, and someone who is very much valued, Ricky Roberts III. Hello from my heart, Ricky.
Hello from my heart. Wow, that was a beautiful, beautiful introduction, and I'm just humbled by the kind words that you said and just sharing from your heart. So thank you very much. I'm happy to be a part of what you're doing, your continued effort to just make the world a better place with everything you do. So thank you.
Oh, thank you. We all want to make the world a better place, and it's like I said earlier, it's not where we came from, it's where we're going to. And
yeah.
And you certainly lived a life that was, a lot of upheaval. And I just wanted to thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us today about that. And I just wanted to ask you, Ricky, in your own words, could you please describe what it was like growing up?
It was challenging. There are things that I've seen that I wouldn't necessarily want other people to see or experience, but at the same time, I'm grateful for the impact that it's had on my life and the platform that it's provided for me to give what I've learned to other people. So it was certainly challenging and brought me to many levels and different deep, dark parts of myself that, had a very huge impact on me, and I had to work through a lot of pain to continue to be a better person and even try to communicate and understand that as a young person, which I just didn't know how. So there was a lot of lost days in my life, and still to this day, I'm a work in progress, as all of us are. And, I want to put that up front, that anything I do or anything I share is by no means with any type of statement that I am perfect and do not make mistakes, and I'm just trying my best to be everything that I can every day and continue to grow and learn and stuff, when people go through certain things in their life that with anyone that's experienced trauma or some deep, impact to their well-being, there's parts of us that there's layers to that process, and we just have to continue to be willing participants in anything that life brings us and where it's trying to take us. Exactly what you're saying, where we're going.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It is a process of peeling all those layers, and I was just. I know that there are still kids in dysfunctional situations at home and elsewhere. I read somewhere that over 70% of homes are dysfunctional, and that's pretty alarming.
Yes, and that's when you hear statistics like that, that's where, we as a community and certainly a big passion that I have is young people, and we as a community being accountable for the participation we play in how we could nurture the well-being of our young people, because there are so many of them that are not getting the nurturing and respect and that validation with what they have to give to the world, So I really appreciate you bringing that up.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, because it's unfortunately I know all too well about dysfunctional situations myself. So, it's tough when you're in it, and you learn fight or flight responses, and you tend to lose your personal value, and it's hard to see the value in other people when all these things are going on around you. What would you suggest that people do about this?
And really what you said is at the root of You Are Valued is that, the belief, the deep belief, and that is that when people feel valued, see the value and feel the value in who they are, the more likely they are to see that value in others, not only themselves but others. And the thing I have to say, is to those people in those situations, especially the young people, that there's really nothing that I can do to make anything better for anyone else, and it ultimately comes down to each person, to you being able to look in the mirror and see the greatness in who you are, and feel that greatness and know that nothing is your fault, and when you have a young person in a dysfunctional situation, there's a sense of accountability that becomes almost unbearable with guilt and pain and bitterness and resentment because you feel like it's your fault. And that's I think, one of the best things that any one of us can ever do for a young person is not only let them know that it's not their fault, but to show them as well.
Oh, absolutely.
The respect.
Yeah, absolutely. When you have self-love and reflect it out, it not only changes your life, it changes the lives of everybody around you. So the world is our mirror, and, we have to love ourselves and take care of ourselves and nurture ourselves despite what's going on, so that, we can reflect that out, and it'll affect other people, and, of course, it'll come back to us. But, make the world a better place. It's like Mahatma Gandhi said, be the change you wish to seek in the world. It has to start with ourselves. And, it's so true. Oh, Ricky, I believe we have somebody on hold here. So I don't know if they're just listening in or if they want to contribute, but I will, the last 4 digits of the phone number is 9846. So
Sounds
I will.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So I'm going to see if they want to chat. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, I have the last 4 digits, 9846. If you wish to join us, go right ahead. I have your mic on, or if you want to listen, that's fine too. Some people just call in and listen, and some people like to contribute. So, hello, who are we speaking with? I guess they're just listening for now. Well, that's
Wonderful.
okay.
Well, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you for
joining us.
joining us.
You feel inspired to share, I'm happy to hear what it is.
Yeah, me too. Well, I was just curious, Ricky, in your own words, what happened the night of your attack and the epiphany you reached from this?
The reality of just how blessed we are in life, every moment, and the understanding of how quickly that could all be taken, taken from you or from anyone around you, and it's just feeling that fragility of life and just laying there thinking that it was it. This is it. I'm dying, and I felt what it was like to have that fear. And before that in my life, I didn't fear death. I didn't really care if I lived or died, and that's how I lived my life, with that idea and lack of true appreciation for life because I didn't feel it had anything to offer me, and I didn't have much to offer it. And then that night, laying there thinking that was it, had a chaplain come into the room, and he put his hand on my head and said everything was going to be okay, son. And it's just, I felt that reality that I'm not alone, and it was going to be okay, and I was touched in my heart. And first true connection and like that confirmation for me is that I am not alone. Like there is a source behind all of this, and I call it God, and call it whatever feels good to them. And I just felt that connection and that obligation to say, now what? What do I do with my life? And I started on that journey of healing, my transformation process, and have just been doing my best since to just ask, why am I still here, and what can I do? And I believe at any moment that any one of us are here, we have that opportunity to say, what can I do with this gift, and recognize that that's our choice. And at any moment, this gift that we know could be gone. Everything that we know or the people we know in it could change beyond our participation or choice or determination of it. I woke up this morning with a phone call at 8:30 in the morning, and I saw it was my sister's fiance calling, and of course I'm on guard with getting a call in connection to my sister because I had a call from my years ago with my other sister passing early in the morning, and turned out she was in a car wreck and broke her collarbone. Everything's fine, and I'm just real thankful. It could be so much worse. That's even when we were in the emergency room, I told her, just look around and understand that we could wheel you around this place right now, and there's people in here that would be thankful to have the complaint that you have right now. We're thankful for that, but it's that constant reminder that we are on this shift at any moment. And I guess for me, before that, I had a sense of indestructiveness. I just felt indestructible, and then the stabbing humbled me deeply. That gave me that opportunity to truly see life in the gift that it is. To know that it is just this gift every moment, through our struggles, through our adversities, through the things that we may prefer to be different. It's all part of it.
It is. It really is. I'm just amazed at what a transformation that you have, and of course when somebody goes through, especially an accident, especially something that's life-changing, I just, you always wonder, how's that person going to transform? So that brings me to your book, your brand new book, Awakening to the New You, The Path to Transformation. I was just curious. I seen a portion of it, and it was about listening, and that's one thing that I have a problem with sometimes, because I have, my mind is like on hyperdrive all the time, and I'm constantly on the go, and I forget to listen. So you want to expand on that a little bit?
Well, it's basically when people ask me, how did you write these books, or how did you do this, or how did you end up here? It always comes down to my willingness to listen. The person that I'm passing, I'll give you an example. There's many examples I can give, but the most recent one was just a couple of days ago, where I'm scooting down the road and I see this man walking across the street that looked like he was, just holding back tears, holding back sadness, just struggling to move in his midst of sadness, just felt him. And I pulled off and sat there for a moment, looked at him, and had some places to go, and thought, and just listened to that feeling that I needed to go back and just give him a little Your Value card, let him know that he meant something. And when I did that, his whole light, his light, turned on, and he just looked and smiled, a big smile, no teeth, a couple teeth on the top, just smiled and said thank you. And I said, just let someone else know. And he's like, I'm going to do that. I will. I'm going to do that. And just totally lit up. And when I talk about listening, I think of all of us, on any plane, any point in our life. It's not necessarily listen, go talk to that person or this person, but just listen to where we're being called to be, and listen to our higher purpose and this whole existence. Listen to how we can contribute and give back to the community and give to one another. Just so many different aspects of listening, but really it's that willingness to listen to that inner wisdom that guides us all.
Wow, that is just, it's amazing. And I'm going to learn from that. I really am, because, I used to listen when I was younger, but as life progresses and you get so busy, you have to really stop and smell the roses. Oh, we do have another caller that just called in. I'm just going to put them on. Yeah. Last four digits are 3471, and I'm just waiting for the mic to turn on. Okay.
I can hear you.
Hello, welcome to Transitions to Transformation Radio. Who are we speaking with, please?
Lee.
Hi, Lee.
Hi.
Hi, Lee. How are you?
Good.
Thank you for calling in.
Yes. I had a question. What you have described as your kind of your epiphany moment where you realized, what you realized, and that I have small versions of that all the time, like, every other week kind of thing. And so how is it you knew that what happened to you was that moment? Because I'm having these smaller moments all the time, and I always wonder, okay, is this, the point at which, I go forward and I've learned what I need to learn, or do I still have more to learn?
That moment was like the spark of my connection to, okay, like there's a higher reason behind this, like my connection to that. But from that point on, it's a combination of moments that continue to happen on all of these little sparks that may say, go over here, or this little spark that may bring me to this part of myself, and that's where that, I feel like once we open up and connect to it, it's a continuation. That's always happening. If that does that make any sense at all?
Yeah, it does. And that's kind of what I expected you to say.
I understand the question too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let me, you're asking what specific moment, or how do you know what specific moment is maybe opening you up to that?
Right.
And so you feel like you're getting glimpses of like, what do you feel like you're getting a glimpse of when that happens, those moments?
Well, I feel like I'm getting a glimpse of the divine, although it's always fleeting. It's always momentary, and then it goes.
And that's where, and in those moments, is it specific, like you're setting that, like, intention to connect?
No, not always. Not always. I mean, sometimes yes. Sometimes there's an intention, but other times it's just I could be sitting in my office at work, not even thinking about the divine, and then suddenly just boom, there's a momentary feeling of a connection, and then it goes.
Yes. Yeah, and I'm asking because I can appreciate sort of like when we're going through our life, we're in the divine, but it's those moments where it kind of comes in and reminds us, like sparks in, and I could attest that to maybe my writing. Some days I'm just journaling, but if I go back on my journals, I can see where maybe I had that like divine inspiration that is somewhat, and although we're always a part of it, the brightness of it can come and then fleet back out with our sort of movement through life.
Okay, well, that kind of makes sense.
I mean, that's sort of how I'm feeling from what you're saying and kind of putting it in perspective as we're talking about it. It's a really good, I'm thankful for you to call in and share that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that.
And I don't know, do you have like a more, like do you have a question for me, like a question for me in regard to it more, to help me understand it, to make sure that I want to make sure you're getting the answer or getting your question answered from me.
Well, it's funny. I'm asking you a question because I don't know, but on the other hand, I feel like I do know. It's just like, I've been doing, I've been, seeking spiritual advice for like 20 years now. So it's not new to me to be questioning, and I don't feel like I have the full glimpse yet. I don't have the full picture. If you know what I'm saying.
So you haven't.
It's like I get the glimpses, but I haven't gotten the full picture.
Got it. And sometimes I wonder if it's the experience, and I guess maybe what I was describing from the stabbing, I knew it was then because that full glimpse into it, the depth, and the maybe feeling that plane, I felt there was a choice being made. This is the choice, and you're going to stay, because I felt like the other option was obviously that I was passing, and I could see that, and that has manifested itself in the rest of my life of feeling that extreme choice. But that doesn't mean with life that's somewhat, in some level, what you're saying is sort of fleeting in and out, because we still maintain and sustain throughout our interaction with the society and civilization we created, And that's just my perspective, because I'm with you on the journey. That I kind of say all the time, the more I think I know, the more I realize I have no idea. So I don't really know the answer.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
in some ways, it's okay to not know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's part of the experience. That's part of the journey. That's part of the mystery of it all. That makes it all interesting. It makes life interesting. But on the other hand, you reach a point in your life, where I'm 44 years old, and I'm starting to reach the point where I'm tired of guessing. I want to know,
Right.
And go ahead.
And when you're saying no, just know that divine connection, or the full glimpse into it.
Yeah.
Or is it
Yes.
the no part? Hello?
So I know
are
how
you there,
we
Susan?
feel. Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yes. Well, Lee, I know how you feel, because I always like to get things done like yesterday, and I always want to know what the next step is ahead so I can take it. But life has thrown me so many curveballs, and I find that even though those curveballs aren't always pleasant, I always know it's going to lead me to where I'm supposed to be. And it's kind of a mystery to me, and I kind of like it like that. But it's, it's kind of like a let go and let God situation. But I know how you feel. It's like you want to know what's up next. You want to know, you get to a certain age, and you just want to know where the next step is. And the hardest part is just letting go and realizing that your path is already laid out for you, but you just have to. The hardest part is being patient. Like the Tom Petty song, "The waiting is the hardest part."
Yes.
Well, yeah, and I agree that that having patience is important, and letting things unfold the way they need to unfold is important. And all I was saying though is that it gets nerve-wracking sitting on the edge and not knowing where the fall off is, and
Go
ahead.
What I was thinking is, I was kind of seeing this, imagine, you imagine the little glimmers. I was thinking I was visualizing the beam of light you were talking about. It comes and then it's fleeing. And as we were talking, both of you were talking, and just thinking more of my perspective on the knowing is, I think of those beams, and I think, okay, well, if I change that scope of the beam, for that beam to be all of, in just a visual, for that beam to be all of light, everything that is happening around us right now is that beam. It is that beam, because it is all divine. And the one thing that we can always know, and knowing that we are in part of that divine creation always. Like what we're experiencing, if we're moving through our intent with our intentions and setting them with the highest good and playing our part and participating, then that sparkle of it, the shimmer and the fleeing shimmer, and then turn into the whole scope of our life, for us to just see life in that light, and just know that we are supported, and it is all that light, it is all divine, and as it's unraveling, with and without our attachments to it and our understandings of it, it's all unraveling in grace. It's all unraveling in just the way it needs to.
Absolutely. So
on a completely separate note, I did have a curiosity that I wanted to put forward for either Sue or your guest.
Sure.
Is happens when you have a person who is not that well developed. And the reason that I'm asking is I work for Goodwill, and I work for a lot of people who are mentally disabled. And what happens when they have that moment of touching the divine, and what is it they do with that? And it was just a curiosity if you had an opinion on that.
I think that that people show us that connection with the divine at all times and all levels that they're at, especially, speaking directly to the special needs population. I'm reminded of God through their humbleness and through their kind and loving spirit, instantaneously. So I believe their ability to communicate with the world in such a loving way and non-judgmental way, despite where they're at, whether it's conscious or unconscious or knowing intellectually or not, they are like they're living it basically, and then the just other variety of populations. I feel like even if in regard to homelessness, I've had people just give me so much wisdom on the streets, and regardless of their circumstances or their psychological impairments, they still snap into this space where they're just communicating a divine, inspiring message to me on one level or another, So I guess my opinion, the direct answer is that I see them and I've experienced it on so many levels of them expressing that goodness.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I found I used to work with special needs kids when I was younger, and they were always happy. They were always, everyone that I was with always seemed to have that godlike quality within them. They didn't need all that much, and they were always happy, and that's what I loved.
Right.
Yeah.
And I guess like it's saying if they answer it directly, or they don't have like maybe that aha moment, I guess like we're speaking of, it's almost like it just is the aha moment, for certain populations.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it's I just think the connection is just wonderful. Once people get that we all come from the same source, no matter what we call that source, and how connected we are, and just to love one another, the world would be such a much better place. Much better place to live.
Yeah, and the reason that I brought up what I brought up is the place where I work which we have, a big developmentally stable population, and that it doesn't happen often, but it does happen that I'm in front of someone and I feel like they're in touch with the divine at that moment. And there's no outward display of it. There's no outward display of it other than they look peaceful and happy. But and then it passes on, and then they're back to the way they were, which is troublesome usually. I do see that every so often, and it's like IQ is not a requirement for being in touch with the divine.
No, and I mean, I do present that social or economical status, even physical health. I've seen people with in a hospital when I did this volunteer thing, going around to talk to people, and one guy had both of his all of his limbs removed from diabetes, and he was smiling. It's like that piece you're talking about. He had that same thing. It's I think what you're saying, Lee, is on, and I appreciate you sharing it, because and I appreciate you bringing that up, because that divine is always there, and it doesn't. Sometimes it doesn't even take anyone's participation for it to shine through.
Absolutely. A lot of times when we go through, at least when I go through adversity, I'm always thankful for the happy things and also thankful for the lesson, even though I may not be feeling it all that much at the time being. But, every adversity always brought me to something better. And it's just been amazing. It's absolutely been an amazing transformation. For me, anyways. Now,
yes, I agree.
Thanks. Yeah, it's it's been a long haul, but it's also been a good one too. I met a lot of great people, and had a lot of great experiences, and was able to help people that were in my situation, that I was in previously. So it all has a meaning to it, folks. You go through stuff, so that way you can help others go through. If they're going through the same stuff that you're going through. And that's basically, to me, that's what the meaning of life is. It's just, you go through your stuff, you learn it, and then you teach others how to do it, and just spread the news. And it's exactly what you're doing, Ricky, and I absolutely commend you for overcoming everything you did and teaching others how to do the same. It's wonderful.
Thank you. And, I tell you, Susan, I meet people all the time that even some of the adversities I faced, I couldn't comprehend. And I think it really doesn't matter at any point any one of us are going through this life. There's no spectrum of it. There's struggles and there's adversities that we face, and I certainly don't claim to have had it any worse than so many people, and claim to understand or appreciate other people's struggles, and people are impacted at different capacities and different levels. And I have appreciation and compassion for everything it is, and the effort for us all to be here right now, is admirable in itself, regardless of where people are, who they are, and I'm just thankful to be a part of it. And truth.
Yeah, absolutely, and it shows, and and I'm thankful too for what I've been through. How about you, Lee? Are you thankful for what you've been through?
Yeah, I've been through an awful lot, and I don't think that it's over.
Yeah,
it never is.
But yeah, I definitely, I never would have become a spiritual minister if I hadn't been through what I've been through. I would have ridden the straight and narrow, if I had not had such a terrible time in my teens of not being able to fit in with people and et cetera. all the problems that a lot of people who enter up this spiritualist church go through. But it's all par for the course. Sometimes we choose easy lives, and sometimes we choose hard lives. And the guys that choose the easy lives tend to be Republicans, and the people that choose the hard lives tend to be Democrats. That's. I have a friend who's a worker, and I like him. He's a good guy, and I don't think badly of him. But he's had a pretty easy life, and he's a Republican. And he doesn't see why people can't just get their shit together, and get themselves out of poverty. What's wrong with them? And that's the way he sees it. He doesn't understand that not everybody has it as easy.
Yeah. You can have the Wall Street executive that lost his job and winds up penniless and on the street. There's so many different scenarios that can play out. For me, for instance, I lost pretty much everything when I got sick. I had a high-paying job with the post office, and, I went from going from a corporate mentality to a spiritual mentality because I had gone through that poverty. I had gone through, just being dreadfully depressed and, not feeling in control of my life. And, what got me through it was just knowing that all this had a purpose. Even though I wasn't feeling it at the time, but I just knew that all this had a purpose. And, I became a spiritualist minister myself, and I want to help people, through the radio, as well as I want to do outreach work too. So it all taught me an important lesson, to help fellow men not be so not be so into me. So that really taught me a lot. Absolutely. But Ricky, I know you're having a book signing coming up soon. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. It's March 30th. Saturday from 6:30 to 9. There's a Q&A sort of talk interaction that will start at 7:30, and that'll go for a little while. And I'm just it's at the Art Pool Gallery. I think it's beautiful. Can you hear me? Oh, it's got windy. Just a beautiful surrounding, a good place to be, good people are going to be there. I'm just happy to bring everyone together and connect and share, get the book out there and share it with other people, and just really, really excited and thankful to be a part of it. So anyone listening, if you guys can show up, I appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you and meeting you. And I think it's going to be a good, positive that's there. There's going to be a good group of people that I know of already that are going to be there. And I look forward to people just having a good time together.
That sounds like a great event, and I know you'll be touching upon different aspects of the book too. The people
and people can find my new book. And people can buy my new book, right? But yeah, it is. It's one of those things. I'm excited to share it. And, there's parts in there that were really healing for me, and the passing of my sister, and some close friends, and changing in different parts of my life. And it's good reminders for me even now, every day, really. We always need reminders, and I'm excited to share it with people and trust that it'll reach people well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I know your book is also on Amazon.com, and also on you have a couple websites. You have T. Roberts III, that's III.com. And you can see every book and all about Ricky's story. And And there's also youarevalued.org. Can we talk about youarevalued.org?
Yes, and before I get on that, there's also awakeningthenewyou.com for the new book. It has its own site just to share with people. So that's live now as well. Awakeningthenewyou.com. The youarevalued.org is for an organization that I founded with the mission to create a movement of valuing one another through various initiatives and discussions and involvement in the community, and to a vision where people see the value in who they are as well as others. A world where people see the value in who they are as well as others. And it's just, like I mentioned before, something that I believe at the root of so many of our social issues and our problems is the lack of value people have in themselves. And, I had this vision to move forward with this cause, and it's sort of manifested itself into different opportunities to give back to the community, and I'm truly grateful, and it's still building, and eventually I just, I trust that it's going to be supported by the community, and the cause and the impact and the movement of valuing one another will continue to build and expand, and just create ripples of goodness and kindness wherever we can.
That's just beautiful, Ricky, and it's so true. If we're kind to each other and we spread it along, the world's going to be such a much, much better place. And to know that we're all part of the same source, whether you call it God, Allah, Vishnu, it's all the same. It's all the same source. And it's just been so wonderful talking with you, Ricky. Was there anything else you wished for everybody to know?
Thank you for listening. Thank you for facilitating this. Lee, thank you for calling in, and I hope to see you all on March 30th at 6:30, from 6:30 to 9. Stop in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, stay for an hour, whatever feels right for you. And I'm thankful to connect with you all. And if you have any questions for me or listening, you can send me a message through my website. You can find me on Facebook or whatever. I'm happy to connect. So thank you all for spending your evening here. And Susan, once again, thank you for having me on. I'm grateful.
Oh, you're welcome, Ricky. Anytime. And I wanted to, being that you said we have so many layers to peel, I have a poem here. I call it Peel That Onion. So it's a little short poem. So I just wanted to read that off. I dedicate this to you, Ricky, and everybody out there listening. So this is called Peel That Onion. Born into an onion with many layers of pain, of self-limitation, anger, sadness, worry, guilt, and shame. For so long you didn't see any gain. Negative programming is to blame. Doors of opportunity will close until you get out of your own way. Realize you are divine. Clear the clutter from your mind of self-doubt and past hurts. Soon you will find life converts into happiness and joy, replacing all that negativity, stress, and strife. Peel that onion, baby. Peel all that pain away from your life. Time for you to make a brand new start. Time to make it today. So I dedicate that to Ricky and everybody out there, and just sending my love out, and thanks for everybody listening, and especially thank you, Lee, for calling in too. And I have a few songs here that I want to play that I think are really appropriate for this segment. So I just wanted to thank Ricky once again, and then I'm gonna play these songs, and then I'll be in and out myself. Unless if you want to stay on, Ricky. Or
No, I'm just gonna hang out and probably listen to your songs.
Okay, great. So I'm going to play Chris Chickering's Reinvent Yourself from his Shine CD. And this really is awesome. It's an awesome song. This will really inspire. So here it is, Reinvent Yourself by Chris Chickering.
When you're all alone and crying in a doorway, and you haven't got a second chance to lose, when you've tried it all and hit the wall and dying, and you're all alone with nothing left to choose. Reinvent yourself. It's time. Reinvent yourself and fly with your head up high and the answers to guide you. Reinvent yourself. You'll be turning it all around. You're underground, beaten down and bleeding, and the claws are cold as cast your dreams aside. You can break the chains that cut your veins. It's easy to free yourself from the state of mind. You'll be turning it all around. When it's inside, outside, inside, consultation, your dream master will show you what to do. He's your mirror and truth teller. He's gonna tell you. Phoenix fly with a whole new point of view.
So, Ricky, what did you think of that song? It was great, wasn't it?
That was great. I was just sitting here reading my section on listen, because you had said the listen section. I was listening and kind of reading and listening. I mean, it's just you played that at the beginning, like you teased me with it at the beginning, And
yeah.
I'm happy to just be able to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, it's just a wonderful song. Yeah, and there's the next song coming up is going to be "Dreams Are Out There Waiting" by Tobacco Giulio, let me say. And John Tobacco, he is a wonderful artist, and so is Joe Giulio. And they put out such positive songs that inspire. And John Tobacco just released 2 songs on iTunes, Rhapsody and Spotify. The first one is 1123. It's like the time 1123 is about living in the North Pole, and then Sleepless Tonight is about Hurricane Sandy and the effect it had on a person's living conditions. And his girlfriend Susan DeVita is going to release her CD sometime in May or June called Kama Sutra Rodeo. That's a really cool name. I like that. And Joe Giulio. Yeah, that's really cool. and my friend and super producer, my friend Joe produced 2 of the songs that I'm going to play tonight for me because I recently released 2 songs myself. Now Joe has a new CD coming out called Early Indications, and this comes out in iTunes in 2 weeks. And a meditation CD named Pastoral Signolo, which means the nightingale. So that'll be coming out soon, folks. So I'm going to play Dreams Are Out There Waiting, because, Ricky always says a dream isn't a dream unless it's pursued, right? So this song illustrates this. So I'm going to play this now. Dreams Are Out There Waiting by Tobacco Giulio, also on iTunes. I'm going to play that now.
I know that you've been waiting for the moment to be right, wondering if it really matters, and if it's worth the fight. But tell yourself that it's not smart make a quick decision, but I can tell your story. Just need some revision. Dreams are out there waiting. Dreams are out there waiting. Dreams are out there waiting for you to make the first move. Then I'll come to you. Got to be strong.
Wow, another great song. So now we're going to go into the light, and that's a song that I wrote and sang. And so Giulio, half of Tobacco Giulio, is my producer. I call him my super producer. He believed in me when not too many people did. So, kudos to Joe. Thank you so much for believing in me and for being such a great guy and a super producer and doing an awesome job on my songs. So here comes Into the Light by Butterfly and the Violet Flame. That's the name of my group.
And into the light. Change happens fast with plenty of might. Sometimes you can't see that glimmering light. Keep the faith and no good times are inside. The only sure thing life guarantees is change. Just have to learn to rearrange. Finding the goodness, that journey we must make. That gift of learning while making mistakes. We'll find we're out of the darkness and into the light. Change happens fast with plenty of might. There's times you can't see that glimmering light when you're stuck in darkness and things don't seem right. Keep the faith and no good times are inside. Something new comes from an old journey then. Your new life waits up around the bend. Trust your instincts, 'cause they're always right. Stay on your path and keep your goals in sight. Don't give up, everything will be alright. You'll find you're out of the darkness and into the light. Change happens fast with plenty of might. There's times you can't see that glimmering light when you're stuck in darkness and things don't seem right. Keep the faith and no good times are inside. Dad always told me when things get bad, part of life and not to chase ahead. It's only temporary, you'll have a better day. That dark cloud of you will soon fade away. Thanks, Dad. When it seems your world is turned upside down, it may not look this way, but you're being led to your highest and best good. Soon you'll see the light at the end of the tunnel and much better days. You'll find you're out of the darkness and into the light. Change happens fast with plenty of might. There's times you can't see that glimmering light when you're stuck in darkness and things don't seem right. Keep the faith and no good times are inside. I remember when things would go bad. My mom said do something each day to make you glad. Those bad feelings will soon fade away. You'll see a much brighter day. Thanks, Mom. And we're out of the darkness and into the light. Change happens fast with plenty of might. There's times you can't see that glimmering light when you're stuck in darkness and things things don't seem right. Keep the faith and know good times are in sight. Keep the faith and know good times are in sight. Before you know it, you'll be dancing in the rain.
Hey, we're back, everybody. Hope you liked my little collection of songs to inspire. So I just wanted to extend to Ricky once again. Thank you for such a for being such a wonderful person and helping other people, and especially for taking the time out for joining us tonight and for hanging on and listening to these songs.
Sure, I'm thankful to be a part of it, and thank you for sharing your music. I was excited to hear it. Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited, and I just can't wait to do more. So I hope to inspire you. Thank you.
Keep doing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely will. It's definitely a passion of mine to write and sing songs, and I'm very fortunate that I've crossed paths with Joe Giulio, and he's I call him my super producer. I just send him my vocals, and he just does magic with the music, and it's just amazing. Everything fell into place for that to happen. So all that stuff that happened to me in the past, it definitely served the purpose, because now I want to make other people feel good, and I want to do it through my music. So it'll be good.
Well, you're doing it.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing it tonight.
Oh, anytime. Thank you, Ricky. And I want to extend again, thank you, Lee, for calling in, and we dedicate those songs to you and everybody else out there. And just know you are on your path, and just keep going forward. Keep your eye on the prize, and you'll see great things happen in your life. So I just want to wish everybody a very blessed evening. and you too, Ricky. Have a blessed evening. And
thank you.
Thanks again. And I hope to have you on the show again soon.
Good. Be in touch. Thank you.
Anytime. And good luck with your book release. Actually, you don't need luck. It's going to be a bestseller. I just know it.
Well, I love that and that space and that vision. Thank you.
You're welcome. And I just want to ask once again, it can be sold on Amazon.com, right?
It's not officially available on Amazon yet. The official release date's April 16th. I'm doing a pre-release in St. Pete, here. But people who are listening, if they're not able to make it to the book signing and the release and stuff, if they know that, they can go to my website and order it from there, or awakeningthenewYou.com. Order it either site, and I will autograph it and send it out as soon as possible.
Oh, wonderful. Well, I can't wait to be there in person and get a signed book from you, Ricky. I really look forward to that.
Wonderful. I look forward to seeing you guys.
Thanks. Have a wonderful
Have a great night. Okay.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And good night, everybody.